Okay, go ahead, Rick.
It's going. You got enough for 45 minutes, right? You never know.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name's David Can. This is my team. We have Justin Sims, Janet Kim, Michelle So, James Shaw, and Ian Kitco, and we're from Team Care. All right, for today's agenda, we're going to be covering the introduction of Cornerstone Medical Services Clinic, as well as we're going to show you a video to give you a better understanding of what they're about and their services. Furthermore, we're going to talk about the problem statement, problems that they're facing, our motivation on why we decided that this project is what we wanted to do, the mission statement, building a team, 5 key characteristics of a team, locus of identity, our roles and responsibilities, 3 intellectual phases: discovery, invention, implementation, the Scrum Agile development framework that we use, quality assurance, quality control, defect tracking logs, our deliverables, our weekly status reports, our budget report. Finally, our CMS Clinic website demonstration, followed by promotion, and lastly, the post-project interviews, and we'll take questions afterwards.
Okay, so to give you a brief introduction about what Cornerstone Medical Services is about, it's a organization that was created in 2008, and it's a nonprofit organization. So their money is generated mainly through donations, and it runs based on volunteers, basically. And so they serve more than 1,000 patients a year, and their motto is helping others is helping ourselves. And they offer many different fields of practices of medicine, such as Eastern or traditional medicine, or Western and traditional medicines, or Eastern Asian medicines, and naturopathy and chiropractics.
All right, for this video, we're going to have our chief translator translate about 3 parts of it, because 3 parts of it's in Korean, just so that you guys can understand. And so we'll be pausing it after they speak, just for 3 parts. You know what? I forgot to set the sound output.
I was actually using that last night in Mark's class on my laptop, and the sound wasn't working.
Oh, it doesn't work?
I was using it last night. It wasn't working last night. So.
All right, let's see.
We had to use the.
It works. Well, that's good news.
Way to mess with their heads.
Yeah.
Not gonna work.
It's been 10 minutes troubleshooting last night.
Yeah, they're nervous enough.
코너스톤은 2008년 6월 20일 신창범, 변재준 2 의사 선생님이 4명의 환자를 진료하는 것으로 시작해 지난 5년간 첫째, 셋째 토요일에 꾸준히 클리닉을 열어왔으며 현재 2013년에는 16명의 의사, 10명의 간호사, 그리고 24명의 볼런티어들이 하루에 평균 70여 명의 환자들을 돕는 기관으로 성장했습니다. 이 코너스톤은 워싱턴주에 산재해 있는 32개의 무료 진료소 가운데 유일하게 소수민족 의사가 시작한 진료소이며 서양의학과 동양의학, 카이로프랙틱, 자연의학 박사들이 함께 환자의 건강을 돌보는 독특한 클리닉으로 자리매김되었습니다. 이제 환자들의 목소리를 직접 들어보시겠습니다.
Well, I met.
So basically it just talks about when they were established, which was in 2008. And they also talk about the number of patients they served and like what services they provide, which is chiropractic services and allopathy and stuff like that.
Dr. Shin in unusual circumstances when our truck broke down. He helped us to get out with the truck. He told me he was a neurologist some ideas for treatment that I'd never heard of before. One idea was a dry needling technique. I come from a very long distance, and I do it because there aren't any examples of this where I live. And the people here, firstly, treat you with care and love, and I've made many new friends as well. Even been gifted a Korean name, so I have only support and good things to say about this center, and I only wish that they could replicate it a little closer to where I live.
Hi, my name is Jolene, and I bring my mom here to this clinic so she can get good medical help and her prescriptions. We tried different places, but they weren't very helpful, so this is a good place for her to get her medical help while she needs it.
The one Mongolian, the guy, he had an accident like 2-3 years ago. He never went to the hospital to see the doctors. He heard about the cornerstone service, like language problems, also the no health insurance. All Mongolians that come into the cornerstone, they really help them.
저처럼 저소득층을 위한 사람들을 위해서 아주 훌륭한 일을 하고 의사로부터 너무너무 친절하게 대해줘서 너무 고맙습니다. 거기에 대해서 아주 깊이 존중심을 갖습니다.
So he just talking about how nice the doctors were there, and he's really grateful for their assistance.
I'm in great pain right now, and I need to see the doctor so I can get in to see a regular pain management doctor.
Hello, my name is Tolder Tungatik, and I'm from Mongolia. And I'm very thankful for the service because this service is very effective for the people who have no insurance and who can't reach the health service. I would like to tell all the people, all the doctors, all the volunteering people who's working here, I would like to tell thank you, everybody.
Korea.
Okay, so here's a pie graph of some important statistics about the clinic. And so as you can see, 70%, a big majority of the clinic that is being served are Asian American, and the rest of them are Caucasian Americans, Native Americans, Pacific Islanders, Hispanic, and African Americans. So this is a graph showing the different regions that Cornerstone Clinic really helps out. And
so where's the clinic located?
It's in Federal Way.
Yeah, that's very well distributed.
Yeah. So you can tell like they have a really good service going on that people are willing to go distances to get their service for.
And then the problem statement. The problems that the CMS Clinic's website was facing was that the information was outdated, so we met Dr. Byon on a weekly basis to receive information that needed to be updated onto the new website. And then the CMS's website design was just old-fashioned and boring, so we tried to modernize it so that it just stands out more. And also the website was just very difficult to use as well as update. And the website just didn't have any Korean translation for the Korean community. The old website actually did have a Google Translator, but it wasn't as accurate as Dr. Byon wanted it to be. So that was like the main challenge that stopped his patients from viewing his old website. And this is a video on people that are uninsured in America, so it just talks about how the difficulties they face because of it. And this is what helped motivate us to want to help people like them.
As the deadline looms to sign up for insurance, hundreds of thousands of Pennsylvanians are falling through the cracks, unable to afford health insurance. We begin tonight with a push to get Americans insured before March 31st. Good evening, I'm Janelle Stelson. Healthcare navigators aim to help the uninsured find the insurance that's right for them. But some people are still having problems. News 8's Lancaster County reporter Meredith Jorgensen has one woman's story.
Are you married? Simple question.
And do you have any dependents that you would claim on your taxes?
And sometimes good results.
Okay, so you would be eligible to apply for the Affordable Care Act.
Healthcare enrollment specialist Brittany Aguavivas says some callers to the Southeast Health Services Health Centers are thrilled when they get health insurance.
Oh, some people are excited. They're saying if I were there, I'd kiss you or give you a
I can't stay on their plan until I'm 26.
But some uninsured, like 19-year-old Bernice Allen, are falling through the cracks.
I'm just not sure what exactly I'm going to do.
The single mom is working part-time at McDonald's. She was recently dropped from Medicaid.
I was pretty upset. I mean, I didn't even know I was cut until I showed up for a doctor's appointment.
Uninsured, she tried to apply for Obamacare, but was denied.
I thought Obamacare was for everyone. I said I thought this was supposed to help, people who can't get insurance through Medicare.
She doesn't make enough money to qualify for the Affordable Care Act, $15,000 a year for 2 people, but she doesn't qualify for Medicaid either. Even after meeting with an enrollment specialist in person, Bernice still didn't have insurance, but she did have a good lead on some type of coverage. In Lancaster County, she can apply for PALCO, or Project Access Lancaster County. That's when doctors donate their services.
I don't know, where else to turn to.
And she's not the only one.
I'm really disappointed because I feel like there should be something out there for people like me.
As many as 400,000 Pennsylvanians are in her shoes.
It's hard trying to explain to people, especially the ones that really need it or the ones that are really upset about it.
And hoping to get off the phone someday with good news and health coverage.
Okay.
Meredith Jorgensen.
You're welcome.
News 8.
Bye.
One.
Okay, so before we actually talk about our mission statement, we want to briefly explain to you what Obamacare is and how it kind of relates to our project and relates to Cornerstone, and how a con of Obamacare would lead to a pro of Cornerstone. So as many of you probably already know, Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act, was passed into law on March 23, 2010. And generally what Obamacare is and does is it increases the quality and affordability of health insurance in the United States. So comparing it to Cornerstone, their goals kind of intertwine in the sense that they both try and help people who are uninsured. And for Obamacare, as you saw in the previous video, you saw that Obamacare, although it does help people who have low incomes, it doesn't help everyone who have low incomes. And most importantly for our project, Obamacare, what it doesn't do is it doesn't benefit immigrants. And for Cornerstone, they offer benefits, health benefits and services to all uninsured people, including immigrants. So oops, sorry. So okay, so upon learning about Cornerstone and the benefits that they offer, it led to our mission statement in redesigning and updating their current website. When we met up with Dr. Gill, our clients, he made a centralized point in that their website is outdated, and we saw that a lot of statistics, events, and news, etc. The last time it was updated was over a year ago, so it was in desperate need of getting updated. So the first part of our mission statement was to create like a better, more simple and cleaner version of the website, and in doing so, it would help. From the statistics page that you saw that the majority of Cornerstone's clientele is of Asian descent, and of those Asians, the majority are Korean because of its location in Federal Way. It's a fact that in Federal Way there's a huge Korean community, and not only in Federal Way but the neighboring cities as well. So the second part of our mission statement, we wanted to create an accurate Korean translation of the website as well, and also make, along with it being simple, we feel that the Koreans who came from a different country and don't understand English and can't read it, they wouldn't be able to utilize the current existing website of Cornerstone. So in creating our own and an accurate Korean translation of it, it would help those Koreans specifically in utilizing that website and finding information about Cornerstone and receiving the benefits that they would be seeking. And to meet our mission and to succeed in it, we use the SMART criteria guideline, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevance, and time-bound. So we kind of used each acronym and made sure that each of our goals met each acronym. And for S, for specific, our mission was specific. We knew what we wanted to do and how we were going to do it. We were going to make a website, and we were going to use it using WordPress. And for measurable, we had, it helped in succeeding for our mission because it kept us motivated, and we thought it was a meaningful experience because in the end it would potentially help the community and the Cornerstone goals. And achievable, we firmly believe that it was achievable given with the time period that we had. We set schedules like that and regularly updated and helped each other out. And it was relevant because we were creating a website for Cornerstone which utilizes technology. And it was time-bound because we had a set time schedule and regularly updated our hours each week dependent on how many hours we worked on the website or other documentation throughout the weeks.
All right, and so now let's look at building the team, phase 1 task. So when Justin came to me with the idea of the Cornerstone Medical Services Clinic project, I thought to myself, wow, what a great opportunity. After listening to it, we started discussing the tasks that would be involved in accomplishing this project. You know, some of the tasks would be just updating the existing website, then creating the new website, and finally creating the Korean version of the website, and then putting that all together. All right. Then we started discussing the roles, what roles would be involved in order to complete this project. And so we discussed, okay, someone who needed to be the project manager, the web developer, the web designer, field worker, the scrum master, the translator, quality management officer, risk management officer, writer, scheduler, and someone needs to research. And so after we discussed this, we kind of had an idea of what task was going to be involved. Next slide. All right, in the phase 2, the people. So I already had a team from the beginning of our program, ITS, and my team's already been proven successful with our previous projects. So naturally, I brought them on board. I later incorporated Justin and James because, well, Justin was our point of contact with the clinic as well as our client. And Justin had really good communication skills, good presentation skills, and the ability to translate from English to Korean. Likewise, James had the following qualities. In addition, communication coordination. And so we thought that 6 members total for the team would be optimal for this particular project. Okay. Now, all of us, although we are all Asian descent, we come from a different ethnicity. You know, we have 3 Koreans, 2 Cambodians, 1 Chinese. Different backgrounds, different experience, different knowledge, different skills, different abilities, and so it was kind of cool because we took all these diverse people, put them together, and we highlighted their strengths. You know, like team management, programming, designing, UML, web development, problem solving, communication, writing abilities, getting along with others, respecting each other, desire to help those in need, creative, reliability, goal-oriented, and detail-oriented. And then using this, we continued on with the project.
Okay, so the phase 3 of the team building, which is the process and procedure. So the question is, why is it important to us? It is important because it allows us to create a norm and structure so that our team can follow. So the 4 components, which building a good team consists of structure,
explicit and implicit norms and incorporation of role and responsibility. So for example, we use the Google Calendar as a tool to remind us whenever we have a meeting on every Thursday, and we can meet at Science Building. And go along with that, we also have a meet with our clients, like at the medical clinic center at every 2 weeks. And also so as a result of that, we kind of know what our role and responsibility are. So then our team and member are kind of go along with the role and responsibility that we appointed. And also additional role will be assigned to team member in order to make sure that the project will be keep on going.
And the 5 key characteristics that brought success to our team was that first, our common goal in wanting to build a professional website for Cornerstone Medical Services to make a contribution to the community utilizing technology. And our main common goal was wanting to help the Korean community so that we can translate the pages for them. And second, without relying on each other's skill set, we wouldn't have been able to complete this project successfully, where David was in charge of managing the team and assigning each member individual tasks that were necessary to complete this project, and Michelle, who was in charge of all the coding, and Justin, who was our main point of contact with Dr. Byun, and James, who was in charge of proofreading all the documentations that were necessary for this project. And thanks to EYES, we were able to provide Dr. Byun with the best quality website that hit all the requirements. And as for me, I was the chief translator who did most of the translations for the Korean website. And third, our team was bounded and stable for the duration of the project. And fourth, each team member were able to manage their own individual tasks at their own discretion.
I have a quick question. I would have saved it for the end, but I have to ask. You're the chief translator,
Yes.
right? Which is your second language?
My second language is Korean.
Is Korean?
Yeah.
Very well done. I was going to say, I'm sorry, when I'm listening to you, I'm thinking you're the translator for it, and Korean is your second language. Brought up in the household, spend time immersed in Korea as well?
No, I was born in the U.S. and I just frequently talk in Korean with my parents. And I have a lot of friends that don't really speak English, so I always communicate with them.
Anyway, okay, sorry, I just had to know.
And then, yeah, they were able to handle their own work at their own discretion. And our team worked in social environments where we met in and out of school, such as cafes, science lab, and the classroom.
So here's our locus of identity. Just kind of briefly going through what kind of things we all relate to as a team. And so we all go to the same school, Takuma, and we all have the same major, information technology, and we all go to the same class, and we're all of Asian descent, and
Within the class.
Within the
Otherwise,
class.
I would be at the very outer circle. Got it.
And then that's what forms Team Care.
That's an older picture.
Okay, so here's a picture of our CEO, which is Mr. Andrew Fry. So he is the one that created our mission for in this class, where we have to utilizing this technology and make a contribution to the community, which is we maintain it to create a website for the Cornerstone Medical Center. Okay, so in terms of the team care role and responsibility, so in order to align each team member with the match role and responsibility regarding our skill set, ability, and the talent that we have. So, for instance, David is primarily as a project manager. And also he have additional roles like a Scrum Master and a Quality Control. And he is actually a really dedicated leader. He really helps us out throughout the project. Everyone that needs help, he can just contact him and kind of guide us through the project. And James, our primary role is responsible for coordinating among the team, as well as a translator and writer. He committed to ensure that the synchronization among our team is well addressed. For me, I'm a web developer, so I have to ensure that I have to have the responsible for translating all the requirements and make sure it meets all of our client needs. And Jana is a web designer, and her additional role is chief translator, writer, and she's a good team player. She is responsible for different aspects of design process. And I is a quality control manager, and he is committed to create all the documents necessary to make sure that we are comply with all the requirements and all the needs. For lastly, and Justin, since he has a good communication skill, so therefore he is responsible for the project liaison. So that way he helps to maintain a good, healthy communication with the client and coordinate among asking for the need and all the stuff that in order to make sure the project can be done on time. Okay, so briefly, I just want to give an overview of the 3 intellectual phases of the project. So the important phase of the 3 is discovery, invention, and implementation. So I would like to hand it over to Justin and James, so they will talk more in detail what are the components to make up all those 3 phases.
Okay, so first we have the discovery phase, and this is probably our longest phase because we have to research a lot about the requirements of the project, and this kind of goes into meeting with the client and finding out what was outdated about the website and what our clients wanted to improve in the new website. So we conducted usability tests with our client and with other people as well. One issue that we were kind of having in the beginning for our research phase was whether to use Drupal or WordPress, and so in the end we decided to choose WordPress because it was easier to update for the clients and easier to teach them how to use. So we decided to use that. Another issue that we had was figuring out the domain and web hosting. That took us a while to figure out because they actually have their own website, and so like it would mix up the hosting. We would have to use the hosting for multiple domain names, and so it took us a while to figure out, but we got it. Some other things that we researched were different themes. So we needed to find the right theme to match the features that our client really wanted. And so that took us a few days also. So the other things were the tools that we needed to create the website, as well as the features that our website would include, such as payment options, donation, and multi-language plugins. So here's a picture of the homepage on the old website, and as you can see already, like the navigation bar already has way too many tabs, and so you can tell it's already pretty confusing as it is. And this is the services page, which is pretty bland at that, and very not engaging for users that want to find out more about CMS or the Cornerstone Medical Services. So here's a picture of the old website that Janet drew. And so basically what we did here was we took the website piece by piece and analyzed each part so that we could find pieces that we thought would be able to be improved, and what we found was maybe redundant or had errors in it.
So after the discovery phase, we entered the invention phase, and at this point we generally had an idea of what we wanted to do and how we were going to do it. And we further asked ourselves questions regarding on what needed to be acquired, the specifications, and the decision-making process, and how we were going to succeed in this project and invent the website. And we also tried to utilize the research we made in the discovery phase into our invention phase. And most importantly, we knew that we were going to use WordPress to create our website. And starting off with WordPress, throughout this phase, we looked up tutorials and taught ourselves how to use it and taught each other as well. And we drew out sketches, and from those sketches we experimented on WordPress using free themes, which were essentially our prototypes. And after that, when we got pretty comfortable with using WordPress, we decided on a final theme which we had to pay for, but we all agreed to use it because we felt that it really matched what Cornerstone was, and the widgets and the icons that it offered was relevant to a health clinic. So after that, once we got our final theme, we had to transfer data from the current existing Cornerstone website and use some of the information to transfer over to WordPress. And from there, once we had that done, we started doing structured brainstorming. Throughout this phase actually is when the usefulness of the diversity of our group really bore fruit, because we each had our individual creativity, skills, and opinions, which was actually pretty instrumental in applying to structured brainstorming and use case scenarios and diagrams, which all assisted in finalizing the completed design and layout of our webpage. So here it's just a little bubble note that we made. On the left side here, you'll see that this is kind of the layout we wanted for the English version of the website, and on the right here is the Korean version with a directory to help keep it organized. And here is actually pretty much a physical design of how we wanted to make it look like. We try to simplify it as much as possible from the current existing website. And this was a sketch of it. Probably should have been an opposite, would have switched around, but yeah, we did our sketches first, and then we applied them to WordPress in a physical version of it. So after the invention phase, towards the end of the invention phase actually is when we finalized the design and layout of our webpage, and essentially that's when we entered the implementation phase, and that's when we started updating all our old information. Throughout this phase, the majority of this phase was basically us doing edits and error checks, and most importantly, we implemented the donation payment option into the website, which actually is really important because that's how Cornerstone runs and continues to serve the community. And we also finished, 100% completed the translation of the website into Korean. And to check, after that was done, to check further errors that we may have missed, we conducted several different methods of quality assurance, quality control, and defect tracking logs and usability tests to help us find any remaining errors, any functionality errors or spacing issues or things like that. And once we all agreed upon a final version of the website, that's when we moved on with meeting up with our client again and doing a presentation of our finalized website. And we used his feedback and made the adjustable, or we made adjustments concerning his feedback, and then we then again did another usability test to make sure that there weren't any remaining errors again. And that was when our website was ready to launch, or what we felt was ready.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Yep. So as my teammate said, at the discovery phase, we collect information from Dr. Beyond. We set out goals, requirements, and we try to meet his standard and his expectation. The question is, how can we make sure everything is on the right track? Yes, quality assurance. Quality assurance is like a to-do list to tell us what to do to meet all the requirements. And then by asking the reviewer, like risk assessment manager or our clients, Dr. Beyond, to go over the list with us, and then we try to make sure everything is correct. Okay, here is a quality assurance checklist that created by me, and then on the left-hand side is requirement, And then on the middle of the table is alpha comments, which is me. And then on the right-hand side is to be filled out by the reviewer, like risk assessment manager or the doctors. Okay, for example, how to use this checklist is on the document, on the system documentation, the invention phase, we're supposed to have our survival test guide, implementation schedule on our project plan updated, and put it into our Dropbox so that we can keep everything on track. And here's my comment. I say, oh, okay, I can find everything in our Dropbox. And then finally, we go to the reviewer. And the reviewer say, oh, all the documents are proven to meet the criteria and blah, 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 blah. I can find it into the Dropbox. And then that's why they say, oh, it's compiled. And then we're trying to make sure everything is compiled before we move to the other stage. Well, sometimes it's not compiled, and then we have to fill out the requirement. Like, for example, the usability test. At first, we doesn't come out with a usability test on the discovery phase, so we leave a blank there, and then revise to say, hey, you need to work on it. Next page, please. Okay, here's the quality control checklist that also created. Quality control is the final step to debugging our product, like our website, before we do our project launch. And this checklist is created for the project inspector. And in this case, it's our team leader, project management, David, who do all the checklists. Okay, the requirement is nothing fancy though. It's about check all the navigation bar if it is working properly, if all the link is linking the right place or is broken, if we're missing any pictures or missing any videos. And then the David will say, they will give out the comment like, the navigation bar, oh, not compiled. Okay, so that Michelle need to fix it because he's the web developer. And then at the end, we have another final version of the checklist. Everything is compiled, so that at the point that we launch our project, it is 0 errors.
Thank you very much, Ives. Going off of what Ives said, using the quality control approach, the defect tracking log goes along with that, and then basically this is more detailed in the fact that it lists the date created of the issue, the defect description, followed by what life cycle is in. Is it in the testing, design, or is it in the requirement? Okay, and then you can indicate that as far as the priority too, whether this needs to be looked at right away, high, medium, or low, followed by who is it assigned to, the owner of it, the assignment date, the estimated time it would take to repair it, to fix it. That's followed by the resolution. How did you fix it? What was how did you go about that? And then the actual resolution date of when it was fixed, followed by the actual time it was fixed, and then finally the root cause. Now, why is the defect tracking log important? Well, we actually use it, and when we look at ongoing issues, some of the issues are very related to each other. And so using this, we can actually find the root cause of similar problems and go back and fix it, make the whole quality control process much easier and faster. All right, so our team uses the Scrum Agile Development Framework that we're learning in class, and we applied it in Team Care's project. And so our product owner was Dr. Bien, and he has requirements set to us. We took his requirements and put it into our product backlog as tasks, as well as we indicated the due dates for each of them. And then we took like a portion of it and brought it into the sprint backlog, and we worked on it as a group. Our sprint consists of 1 to 2, it's actually 2 weeks, that's right. 2 weeks after we complete our sprint, we'll do our sprint review and retrospect that we also learned in class. We just basically talk to our client about what we have completed and get some feedback from him, and then we make changes if he wants it. And then also we talk amongst our groups about what worked, what didn't work, and then we start the next sprint. All right, so here's an example of our product backlog. All right, so like I said, all the tasks are listed on the left column here, as well as all the due dates for each task is listed on the right column. All right, here we have our Scrum Weekly Sprint Burn Down chart that we keep updated. All right, and so on the top left we have the tasks that we pulled from the product backlog. We put it in there, and we put the estimated hours that it would take for us to complete it, each one of them. And then we actually put the actual hours it took us to complete it. All right, so those orange, in the cells right there, those orange numbers, those indicate the hours that we worked on. And then on the bottom left-hand side over here, we have the hours broken down individually to show, the people who contributed to the project. So we broke that down. And finally, what's on the bottom right here, we have the estimated hour and burnout hours too, so that you can see the difference comparison.
Okay, so lastly, this is the deliverable weekly status report that we use it as a tool to help us to measure our team performance and also keeping track of the progress regarding the assigned tasks to individual one. So, for example, on the top, we just have the team name and the start date and the end date on. So, in the highlight blue bar, we have the task, which is each team member is responsible to have a clear description of what you have done. And then also the priority is you have to know what is the priority for each one that is assigned to you, whether it is high, whether it is low. And then the status completion, we have to complete it so that other team member at the end of the week, they can go over and look at it, see how much have you done, and is there anything left that we can continue on and put it up to get all the work done. And the target completion date is actually at the individual one who is complete at the date that they have completed.
All right, here we have our budget report. So how we got the total income is actually, we took 329 hours, which is the total hours our group spent, times $15, which is the value that Andrew Fry gave us. And this is our total expense. So as you can see, paying for the website, paying for the theme, paying for the multilingual language plugin, t-shirts, everything. We put all our prices there, and we subtract it from the budget. Yeah, we actually spent quite a bit. Actually, we actually spent more than that, but.
I couldn't read it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We're all worth
And so our total income subtracted from our expenses, we allocate that money into four separate accounts. As you can see, the top there, I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's project accounts, 40%, WordPress plugins, 15%, transportation, 35%, because we have to travel to Federal Way, and some of us, like myself, live in Olympia. And so the commute is rough, but it's for a good cause. And then miscellaneous 10%. So that's our budget report. All right. Now we have a video here that we want to show you right before we show you our demo, and it kind of shows you our timeline, the Team Cares timeline from day one. Day one, as in the first day of our class here. Justin presented the idea. The same day we went to meet the client. It was like that. Enjoy.
We provide many different specialty medical service. That's the one characteristics of our clinic. Number two is we serve for medically underserved people. Medically underserved people. And number three, our medical services has been completely free. Okay? If they are medically underserved people. That's what we have now. We want to make just a very new website. So you can change everything, is that right? Yeah, so you can change all the format.
It's gotta be difficult working like that.
I do not want to make this by my idea. I want this website made by your idea.
Are there any that you want us to put in for sure? Jared Chumi and this website? Like the most important that you want us to keep in?
So in terms of content, I think we have to put our mission statement, is that right? And we have to put our service, is that right? Which kind of service we provide there. And we may put the eligibility for free service and sliding scale, is that right? And other information such as the insurance we are taking. And, of course, hours and the location kind of stuff. That's very, very basic.
So here we have the our home page of the new Cornerstone Medical Services Clinic website. We use a revolutionary slider to show make it more lively, because in the previous website the picture was just static. It was just one picture and that was it. So we added that. Some information about the clinic right here. We also add these really cool icons and the services that they provide, the primary ones, such as primary care, naturopathy, Asian medicine, chiropractics. Then we also created these tabs that shows why you should choose that clinic. And so a user can come here and click on it, expand on it, to find out more information. As well as we added a testimonial from the founder of the clinic. Here we also created a button where you can make an appointment. It will direct you to the contact page. There you can send an email and ask for an appointment. They can schedule you one. Here we added a really cool slider. Just you can click through it. Fancy box type. Here we have the information on the sponsors, the donors, so forth. Down in the footer we have news, upcoming event, photo stream from Flickr, and the address, and some contact information there.
So here's the About Us page, just kind of going over what the Cornerstone Medical Service is all about. And it also kind of goes through their history and major events that have taken place over the years. And then this is their leadership team. So we kind of made it so that if you click on each employee, you can find out more about them or a detailed description about them. So kind of like that. And this is a list of the board of directors that kind of direct the Cornerstone Medical Service and their advisory board. And this is a page that we consider to be really important because Cornerstone Medical Service can't really function without their volunteers. So we made a page dedicated to them. And if you're interested, you can even click on the picture and sign up if you want to become a volunteer. So this is a form for that.
And this is just the gallery from Cornerstone Medical Services. And if you want to specifically look at a album, you just click on it, and it'll just take you, just show you the pictures that happened in that event.
Okay, so for the services, like the name implies, it actually shows you the services that Cornerstone provides for you. We have a biography right here, kind of gives you an overview of what they do and the services they offer. And on the side right here, it gives you a short sentence on why you should choose Cornerstone and a checklist of the services that they provide. And on the bottom here is the, again, the services that they provide with corresponding icons. And a list of names of their practitioners at Cornerstone with the actual service and names corresponding to what they practice. And for this page, it's pretty interesting. We implemented this ourselves. It didn't come from the original website. It's interesting because it actually allows the user to see numbers. This is based off the poverty guideline, the federal poverty guideline, and they update every year. So this is currently updated to 2014. So trying to explain this the best way I can. Let's say, for example, you have one person in your household, and that one person has an income of $11,670. So if he is in or around this income number, then he would be essentially meeting 100% of the poverty guideline. And for this section right here, that corresponds to what Cornerstone provides for the person that is in that specific section of the poverty guideline. And under here, it gives you explanations of what Cornerstone does. So I'll try to explain it. So let's say from 138% to below. From here to down here and below, Cornerstone would be offering a 60% discount on their services for anyone who is uninsured. And when we met up with Dr. Byun, he explained to us that that people at 138 and below are eligible for free Medicaid. So generally, Cornerstone doesn't provide service for them if they are already insured. And if they aren't insured and they don't know that they can be insured for free by Medicaid, then Cornerstone would provide them the information to do so. And the reason why these two columns are highlighted is because if your income was between 138% and 200% by the poverty guideline, that is when you'd be eligible for Cornerstone's free services. And what they offer in the free services is noted down here. So you're eligible, because between these two incomes, that's kind of a breaking point at which you wouldn't be eligible for Medicaid, and you'd be at the income level of like really low and not be able to afford health insurance in general. So that's where Parson would offer free services. And free services are provided only for patients who arrive during the free clinic hours. So, which you can see down here.
Alright, so over here it is a static page that we kind of change it basically from the old website. They kind of have like a pie chart to represent information, but we, as a team, we kind of go into detail, try to look in for a plugin, and we find out that these kind of give a better view of the information for the website, so we just implemented for the statistic page. And also, this page, we use the same plugin to use it, but however, it's represent as a bar chart for the patient that we serve, the medical clinic serve.
So this is the news section for any news that Cornerstone would want patients to know. So if you want to continue reading like a specific news, you just click continue reading. And it gives you like the detailed information. And you can also leave comments. And then he can actually reply back to you as well.
Yeah, that's good because it generates discussions. Like before, they didn't have that ability. And now the patients can talk to the doctor directly, get more information, and that's kind of what he wanted as well, too.
This is our event page that we put all the events happened in the CMS clinic, and then we put it into our new website. And the application we're using is pretty cool. We can search by the date, and we can search by the keyword. Also, if you don't like the blog style to show, we can use the calendar style. Okay, for example,
Right. Okay, so here's a big one, the donation page. So, yeah, this amount of contribution is our contribution to them so far.
Hey, don't look at me. I already put $10 in there while we're sitting.
Oh, very nice.
So you put 4 cents. I did.
So over here, the user can come here and they can choose the already preset values for donation amounts, or they can do a customized amount. They can fill in their personal information here, as well as choose the project they want to help, whether they want the proceeds to go to providing free healthcare services for the uninsured, or just refurbishing the clinic's building itself. And then you have the option of doing recurring payments or non-recurring payments. And you can do bi-weekly, monthly, yearly, all sorts of things. All right. So that's pretty much it for that. Lastly, we have the contact page. Here you can see that it's located in a Federal Way. You can easily get in touch with them by just filling out your name, your email, a message. We also add this reCAPTCHA plug-in here to just get rid of spams, to avoid it, period. And so, all right, moving on to the very good part that I think everyone's been waiting for is the Korean translation. So every page you probably notice on the top right here that has English and Korean. So my team managed to translate 40 pages total for the website. All right, and so they were able to do this in about 2 weeks. And so all the Korean translations have been done. Some words unable to translate, it was not compatible, but the main ones were all translatable. So as you can see, the navigation bar. Okay.
So for us to promote our project, as you can already see, we passed out the business cards, flyers, and brochures. And that was our paper-based way of promoting this project. And Cornerstone already has brochures and flyers and business cards, but we felt it was necessary in creating our own so that we wouldn't run short on supply or have full access to it. And they didn't have any accounts in social media, so we created a Facebook account, Flickr, YouTube, and a Twitter account for them, because we feel that with social media, you would probably get more coverage compared to handing out papers, because in today's age, most people already have one way or another a social media account, so there will probably be more eyes that come across the social media sites of Cornerstone compared to the brochure or flyer. And through these promotions, we feel that it would spread through word of mouth. Say they came across a Facebook page and knew someone that would need these services, then they would tell that person, and then that would potentially lead to that person telling someone else or multiple people. So thinking about this optimistically, we're promoting this project with our group of 6, but it could potentially be up to a group of 1,000, and that would bring in more people for Cornerstone, get them more recognized, and let people know what they're doing and how they're doing it for the community. It's really inspiring work that they're doing. And we're also taking advantage of Google Analytics and Google Search Engine Optimization, which would get the keywords of Cornerstone and their services, and it would bring it to the top of the search, so that when someone searches like acupuncture services, no insurance or something like that, then Cornerstone would be at least the top 3 of that search list.
All right, finally, we had the post-project interviews.
I would prefer you not do the post-project interviews right now, as we will be out of time.
All right.
But you've done a fabulous job, and let's give them a great hand. I was trying to give you a 5-minute countdown, but you guys are just sitting so close to that, and you're getting very, very near. I would suggest a couple things. Number one, on your promotional materials, like your flyers, your flyers, are those going to be also translated into Korean?
They're already translating Korean. We actually translated back to English.
Oh, good, because I was going to say that is really kind of a target that you've been aiming for. So we're going to have a few questions. I got one. One of them is, Justin, you brought this to the team, correct?
Yes.
And what's your relationship with the organization?
Actually,
You brought it right to them, right out of the gate.
Yeah, kind of. Like, my dad kind of helped with the remodeling of the building because they just moved in, and so I kind of got to know him through that. And
that's what I was wondering, because there always is that personal connection. That's great. It's great for you to be able to bring something to the table that quickly on that. That's pretty tremendous. I'm gonna let you guys ask a couple questions.
Go ahead, Joe.
How long did the translation process take, just out of curiosity? Because I know that was hand translated,
So it was very long, actually. It actually took 2 weeks, but we actually enlisted 4 more Korean students to help us.
Did you count their hours?
We did not.
You should have been counting their hours in the
volunteer.
budget.
They're just volunteering to us, so it was a volunteer ladder.
All right, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. remember, you're kind of volunteering too, but I wanted to capture values. Go ahead.
I don't know if you mentioned, but is the site actually up? Has this change gone over?
Okay, so the site is completed, but actually this summer, Janet's going to be interning there. I'll be volunteering still. Same with Justin.
Are you interning for credit there?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you already signed up?
I'm getting all the forms done. I just need to get signatures.
Okay, good. Come on by.
Yeah, Sherry has permission. So once the summer starts, we're gonna actually transfer all that from this domain onto the actual domain, because he wanted to keep his current domain with the current site so that customers and patients can still use it. But he looked over this, he likes it. Now it's just a transition period, which is good.
So I know this is kind of more into the patient care side of things, but I know there's a team of doctors. Is it Dr. Bion? Bion? Is he the only full-time in-house doctor there?
They have, the founder is also Dr. Chang Shin.
That actually does patient care?
Yeah, and then there's also multiple nurses that also volunteer and help out.
So they're busy?
There's about 40 volunteers.
Oh, wow. So this is going to
Olivia?
So
So I think it was nice that they gave you complete creative control over how the website was going to look. Were they really happy with? Were they like, wow, this is amazing?
So the first time we showed it to them, they wanted a little bit of customization, kind of like the image. They wanted a little bit smaller and a little bit more content. And so we just, again, during the Scrum phase, we just went over that, took their feedback, incorporated it, showed it to them again, and they loved it. They were content. Actually, in the video, it shows him saying, "That was awesome," but.
Oh, you guys can send me a link to that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay?
I think you'll like it.
I'm sure I will. I have no doubt. Others? All right, well, also great food. Thank them for that. I think I've had my lunch already. Because we are basically at the end of the quarter, I think you may or may not recall on the very first day of this class, I said how much I love this course because of what it does. And I just want to say thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can do a separate budget on this too, by the way. Yeah. So basically, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, good luck on that one. I got money saying don't read it. Nice. Yes, there is.
Well, see, something like this is about the only way you can survive
Remember, our website is built around customer experience. Ours is going to be about an eighth of that. It's going to have like the plastic. It's going to have the plastic cover and the back cover. Nothing else.